天坐了半天车来到西雅图北边这么一个波音的一个展览的博物馆吧，加机场，然后这里面一些情况。一会儿是不让带手机、不让带相机的，所以我只能在外面拍一下。这里面需要票。先站一下外面吧。外面是一个停机坪嘛，然后这边还有一些礼品商店。大家有看过那个一个节目叫《旅行》吗？就是820和那个梁红。那个张馨予呢，就是820。我靠，买个车牌回去挂一下啊。这跟真的一样。张馨予他就自己造一个飞机嘛，非常屌。这边都有些西雅图的一些纪念品吧，我觉得没什么意思啊。这个还可以啊，有点意思。
Folks, let's get this party started. As an econ guy in college, I really like to make some type of overarching narrative to connect the tours I give here at Argosy. And the story of Seattle is a story of trade and international commerce. Almost 70% of the economy today is actually still directly connected with trade with our neighbors, both afar and nearby. And most of this is done via ship. Off to the right-hand side, we're pulling out of the Seattle Central waterfront. And this was originally ground zero for all of that trade way back in the day. Over 100 years ago, it used to be ships would come up here and trains would quite literally come to the ends of these piers here and offload their cargo into ships for export around the world. Now, because of its direct relationship with trade, Seattle's been called the portal to the Pacific, as well as the gateway to Alaska. Now, you guys are going to hear these terms, especially that gateway to Alaska, term throughout the rest of the tour as I point out things along the way to show you where everything began. Now, obviously, the Seattle Central waterfront, folks, like I said, was ground zero. These days, it's been repurposed to more commercial activities like restaurants, things like that. I'm sure you've walked around. If any trade-related stuff with cargo ships and things like that has relocated further south of the city, we'll see that at the very end of the tour. Now, what I'd like to point out real quick, though, off to the right-hand side to get this whole new tour started, is just past that giant Ferris wheel, you may have noticed something. There's a big empty space. Like, there's nothing there. Wow, so impressive, isn't it? Come on, helicopter. So, all right, let's just redirect our attention off to the left-hand side to talk about this helicopter, folks, which I have frankly no idea what he's doing. I believe it may be Coast Guard related. They often have...
By far the best operator in the business. Yes, that was our 100-foot level. So we have 420 feet to go to get up to the top. And if anyone's trying to find anything in particular, interrupt me because there is way too much out here to try and mention everything. So I'll miss a few of them. Start us off. Oh, right across the street, Como 4 News. I will bring that up because we always get a lot of questions about it. That is the hospital from the show Grey's Anatomy. So they use that for their external shots. Not an actual hospital, which I need to make sure everyone understands very clearly. We do get some deranged fans trying to storm their gates. And that is Lake Union. Off to the left there, you can see a couple of seaplanes on it. That is an international seaplane airport. So you'll see them coming and going a lot. They do fly pretty close here to the needle, so don't worry about that. It is very common. We assume it is intentional, so just wave when you get the opportunity. Over to the right here, Elliott Bay, which is part of Puget Sound. So that connects us out to the ocean. Home to our ferries, everything else. Over in the right corner, we've got the stadiums in the back right corner there. So the white arches, that is the home of the Seattle Seahawks. CenturyLink behind that is Safeco. That is where the Mariners play, or well, certainly try to. All right, everybody, here we are.